In November 2010, over 50 program staff from Oxfam America met in Saly, Senegal, to co-design a new monitoring, evaluation, and learning process called an Annual Impact Reflection, or an AIR. This presentation attempts to recreate the wall of ideas, perspectives, and emergent consensus about AIRs created in Senegal. By doing so, we hope to move forward in concrete ways the underlying agreements we have made about what an AIR is. We invite you to explore the wall on Padare after this brief presentation. So what is an AIR? An annual impact reflection is a participatory process through which Oxfam staff, partners, and representatives of primary change agents agree and report upon a program's progress each year. An AIR creates a space in which honest, open, and frank conversations about success and failure can occur between program staff, partners, allies, and primary change agents. An AIR is also a product. It produces a report which informs external stakeholders about the program in a transparent manner, and so is a central component of Oxfam America's public accountability. An AIR is not an evaluation, where external actors make judgments about the effectiveness of our efforts, but it does use evaluations as one form of evidence. An AIR is more than just an annual meeting or review with partners, since it requires the deliberate debating of data from our MEL systems to determine what has changed and what we should do about it. An AIR seeks the meaningful participation of primary change agents and their perspectives. There are 5 categories of questions that an AIR must be able to answer. What are the changes and outcomes that our programs are contributing to? What has changed for the primary change agents, the people at the center of our programs, and how do they perceive these changes? While we're at it, what changed in the overall context? What new risks or opportunities are arising? And as we carry out more AIRs, are we seeing any trends that may impact our strategy? What are the lessons learned from this past year? And most importantly, based on this reflection, what adjustments to our strategy need to be made, and what will we do differently next year? What truly differentiates the AIR from other program processes is our commitment to make the annual impact reflection an equal space between ourselves, our partners and allies, and the primary change agents. An AIR is not about us, Oxfam alone, determining what has changed and disseminating it with our stakeholders. It is not about external experts telling us what is different and what to do. An AIR is about jointly making sense of the changes affected by our efforts with partners, allies, and primary change agents, and then making equal commitments to act on this knowledge. As a group, we considered what are the key factors for making an equal space. But in the end, creating equal space is about having self-awareness of one's role and power, and about the purposeful experience of creating equal space. An annual impact reflection must also be evidence-based and make it possible for program staff, partners, and primary change agents to make sense of data. This requires processes for the organization and analysis of different data sources, whether grant reports, evaluations, or other relevant perspectives on change. Program staff agreed that AIR analysis must go deep and not broad. Each year, we will look at a few key impact benchmarks for our program and gather multiple forms of data about evidence of change. Remember, evidence is everywhere. We will look for evidence not just in our own grant reports and evaluations, but consider if there are outside sources to tap or conversations to be had that would add to our evidence base. So how do we analyze the MEL data? We think AIR analysis must focus on evidence of impact, not output data, and make use of information already available, not create new data on the fly. The AIR analysis must be light but relevant. We approach the analysis by looking for patterns in the data. What is the overarching story emerging? What does the evidence suggest? We look at how different data sources confirm or put into question our assumptions about how change is happening. And we make sure to put emphasis in the analysis on sources that provide the perspective of primary change agents as to the changes happening and how they are perceived by them. In the end, the error must lead to action. The process and evidence-based analysis must lead to our staff and partners agreeing to the changes needed to move progress forward and to improve our strategies. Thanks for watching our brief overview of what is an error. For more information and to explore the wall further, please go to Badare and search for The Wall.